From the frosty ski slopes of Czechoslovakia to the glittering towers of Manhattan, Ivana Trump lived a life bursting with drama, heartbreak, opulence, and more weddings than a Vegas chapel. Her story is a cocktail of ambition, scandal, and a few tragic twists no Hollywood screenwriter could have dreamt up. Buckle up, because Ivana's life wasn't just rich in cash, it was rich in chaos. A skiing star is born. Ivana Marie Zelničková entered the world in the quiet town of Zlín, Czechoslovakia, where she traded doll houses for downhill skis at an early age. Her athletic prowess saw her competing with the nation's elite ski team, a path that not only built her fierce independence, but also helped carve her escape route from behind the Iron Curtain. In a move that would make even James Bond raise an eyebrow, Ivana married Austrian skier Alfred Winkelmeyer not for love, but for a passport. That savvy slip down the aisle helped her dodge the constraints of the Soviet bloc and glide toward the west, eventually landing in Montreal. She swiftly divorced Winkelmeyer because, plot twist, it was never about love, just logistics. The fairy tale romance that imploded. Ivana's first real taste of American glitz came when she sashayed into a New York fashion show and caught the eye of real estate mogul Donald Trump. They married in 1977, honeymooned, and then voila. Baby Donald Jr. popped out 9 months later, followed by Ivanka and Eric, a true American dynasty in the making. But the Trump fairy tale took a detour to Dysfunction Junction. By Christmas 1989, while the family enjoyed the slopes in Aspen, Donald was busy shussing into the arms of actress Marla Maples. The love triangle took a public nosedive when Maples allegedly told Ivana, "I'm Marla and I love your husband. Do you?" Ouch. Ivana confronted Donald mid-ski. He responded with the bravery of a snowflake in July by skiing away. Bravo, sir. The ugly side of divorce. As if betrayal wasn't enough, Ivana dropped a bombshell during their divorce proceedings, accusing Donald of a disturbing assault during a fit of rage related to a scalp reduction surgery gone wrong. She described him physically attacking her and ripping out her hair to share his own pain. And no, we're not kidding. Though she later softened her statement, claiming she didn't want her words interpreted in a literal or criminal sense, the account remained in the public eye thanks to the book Lost Tycoon: The Many Lives of Donald J. Trump. Unsurprisingly, the Trumps' divorce in 1990 was not what you'd call low profile. It was a media circus with more drama than a telenovela. Money can't buy class, or a gag-free divorce. Ivana's settlement from the divorce was a cool $14 million. Impressive? Sure, but only a sprinkle compared to Donald's estimated billions. Part of the package was a gag order, meaning Ivana couldn't spill tea about their marriage. So, naturally, she wrote a fictional novel in 1995. For Love Alone, which totally wasn't about Donald. He didn't buy it. Trump sued her for $25 million, claiming she violated the agreement. She tried to appeal the gag order, but the courts gave her a firm nope. So while Ivana got the money, the juicy gossip stayed mostly sealed. Second chances and second mistakes. After Trump, Ivana moved to London and jumped back into love, this time with Kenneth Lieberman, a man already married. When that relationship collapsed like a bad souffle, she married Italian entrepreneur Riccardo Mazzucchelli in 1995. While Ivana was thriving as a TV pitchwoman on the Home Shopping Network, her husband was sulking in her shadow. Their romance fizzled during a Las Vegas trip when singer Wayne Newton publicly referred to her as Ivana Trump rather than Mrs. Mazzucchelli. Riccardo left in a huff and never returned. The marriage lasted all of 20 months. As Ivana told People, "I cry. I love Riccardo. It's very painful. Love hurts, and sometimes it storms out mid-concert. A count and a crash. In true rom-com fashion, Ivana then fell for an actual Italian count, Raffaello Gaetani. He was suave, rich, and apparently a magician in bed, according to Ivana's friends. Even Donald gave the romance his blessing, joking that he hoped they had fun spending the money he gave her. But in 2005, tragedy struck. Gaetani died in a car crash in Tuscany while en route to visit his mother. He was just 52. It was a devastating blow for Ivana and marked one of the few times life handed her heartbreak with no legal proceedings attached. Boy Toy Blues. Next came Rossano Rubicondi, an Italian model and actor more than 2 decades Ivana's junior. Friends were skeptical. She was funding everything from his lifestyle to his dreams. But Ivana, ever the romantic, declared she'd rather be a babysitter than a nursemaid. You know, until she had to be both. They married in 2008, but even the wedding was messy. 2 weeks before the ceremony, Rossano allegedly demanded a chunk of the wedding profits and refused to sign the marriage certificate without cold, hard cash. Ivana shelled out $75,000. They tied the knot, and he promptly jetted off to film a reality show, alone. Honeymoon? Who needs it? Death, grief, and a woman in decline. Ivana's marriage to Rossano Rubicondi may have fizzled faster than a bottle of cheap Prosecco, but their love story never fully ended. By 2020, their romantic roller coaster came to a screeching halt when Rossano called from Italy with heartbreaking news. He had stage 4 melanoma. Despite their ups, downs, and reality show-worthy drama, Ivana flew him to New York and became his full-time caregiver. Yes, the same woman who once said she'd rather be a babysitter than a nursemaid suddenly found herself being both. He passed away in 2021 at just 49, leaving her devastated. The stylish socialite who once ruled New York's Upper East Side in sky-high heels and designer gowns began fading into the background. Her friends noticed it too. The heels were replaced by flats. The posture once poised and powerful was now hunched, and the woman who once turned heads was now leaning on a cane. It wasn't just grief, it was transformation. Losing Rossano chipped away at her spirit. The sparkle dimmed. The glam queen was tired. A lonely final act. As the months rolled on, Ivana slipped deeper into solitude, her world shrinking like a cashmere sweater in a hot dryer. The pandemic didn't help. It turned her once bustling social calendar into a blank page. She drank more, laughed less, and her circle of friends saw the once glamorous diva retreat behind velvet curtains. A hip injury from a fall made things worse. Walking became painful, not just physically, but symbolically. Every step a reminder that time was catching up. Friends pleaded with her to move out of her grand townhouse, terrified she'd take a nasty tumble down its sweeping staircase. But Ivana, in true diva fashion, wasn't about to give up her castle. "That's not how I'm going to go," she scoffed, likely while sipping champagne from a crystal flute. Unfortunately, fate doesn't take sass for an answer. Her resistance to change may have been admirable or just plain stubborn, but it proved to be her final stand. The staircase, in the end, had the last word. The final fall. On July 14, 2022, Ivana Trump was found dead at the bottom of that same staircase by her housekeeper. The official cause? Blunt force trauma from the fall. She was 73. Her final resting place? Not exactly the marble mausoleum you'd expect for a woman of her status, but a modest grave at Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey. A few years later, her gravesite was spotted overgrown with weeds, an undignified end for a woman who once graced red carpets and tabloid covers. Theories swirled that the location of her burial was a financial maneuver, as New Jersey law offers tax benefits for cemetery land. because nothing says rest in peace like a possible tax write-off. Still, she leaves behind a legacy of fashion, fierce independence, and 3 grown children who remember her as a devoted mother. If Ivana's roller coaster life story had you hooked, make sure to smash that like button. Got thoughts on her legacy or the drama? Drop a comment below. We're reading them all. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into iconic lives and untold stories. Hit that bell so you never miss a twist, a scandal, or a comeback. Thanks for watching, and remember, real life is sometimes stranger than fiction.